Kelly, and I'm back today with another layout. And today I am going to do a layout for a collaboration that I'm doing with a couple of other crafty gals, and not just necessarily scrapbooking, but lots of different things. And our collaboration today is all about celebrating World Music Day. So you might ask, what does this city skyline photo have to do with World Music Day? Well, this is actually a photograph of the skyline of Minneapolis. So the Twin Cities in Minnesota in the United States. And Minneapolis is here, St. Paul is over in this direction. And I was up visiting some friends over this past weekend as I'm videoing this anyway. And we were driving across this bridge and I saw the skyline and I quick took a picture as we were driving. And the reason this is important to me is that when we were there, when I go to Minneapolis, St. Paul, or the Twin Cities, I feel like I've gone home, and that's because I lived there for a few years at one point in my life. I also went to college for 4 years, only about an hour away. So this city is very important to me. And as I was driving through, I realized that not only had I lived here, I was thinking, oh my gosh, it's been like 20 years. Well, no, guys, it's been more than 30 since I lived there. And this was not my first job out of college. But anyway, so anytime I see the skyline, it's very nostalgic for me. I love it. I think it's beautiful. So I wanted to take a picture and document this and kind of my feeling about this. How it connects to World Music Day is, I love the photo, and this photo makes me smile. And when I thought of that, all of a sudden a title for this layout came to me, and the title is "You Can Turn the World On With Your Smile," which is a line from an old show from, I believe, the 70s, which was the Mary Tyler Moore show, and it started out with a song, and that line was in there about you can turn the whole world on with your smile. And that actually took place in the Twin Cities area. There's a very famous house that was featured in the opening of this, and there's a statue of her throwing her hat up, which for those of you who are older know that's a very classic thing. So that's how this photo links to World Music Day. I'm actually going to use a line from the song of a TV show that supposedly took place in this. And because this skyline always makes me smile, I thought that it was cool to do that. Now, something else I want to say about this photo. This photo is definitely technically not perfect because I've got this huge bridge in the way. We were in a car. I was not driving. I was a passenger. But we were in a car when I took this photo. So really, technically, it would have been a lot better if I had been standing here and had taken it out at the skyline. But I did what I could to document the moment. And sometimes you do not have the perfect photo to document the moment. You use the best photo, and that's what this is. Because even seeing this, not technically correct photo with this big post in the middle of it, it doesn't matter to me. This photo makes me smile. So another quick word about what I'm going to do, and then we'll get on to the layout, is when I thought about this skyline, I have this paper from Chamel's brand new collection, which you can, not only is there the new collection, but you can buy a paper pad for it at Joann's. And the paper pad has this particular paper in it, which is this kind of city scene. The collection, by the way, is called Sparkle City. And I knew I wanted to save this paper to use it for something special. You can also buy this, by the way, in single sheets in the regular collection. And I thought this would be perfect for it. This is the branding strip up here, so I probably will cut that off. It is going to be a little bit of a challenge because it is a very scene-driven paper, but I think what I'm going to do is do layers of paper up here, somehow connect it to this. that's my thought so far. I do have the washi tape that goes with the collection, so there is all of these buildings on it. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that, but I do like that. And then the other thing that I would like to use is I'm working on using up some supplies. I keep them to hand, right to my left hand, and in the in my things that I want to use up, there's this sheet, and this was from the Glitter Girl collection. I have it written down here, and the word smile is here, so I thought I could use that word smile in the song title and make that out of this piece, the foam glitter thickers here, and maybe just do mini letter stickers or something like that for the rest of the title. But we'll see how that works out. But I really would like to use this up, as I'm trying to really use up some of my product, especially things that are half use like this that I've had for a while. These are a couple years old. The collection's probably 2 years old now, so it's time I get these used up, and they're great for titles. So anyway, guys, that's the intro to the video. I don't always do these, but I thought it was important to tie the photo to World Music Day, and not doing while I was trying to walk you through the process, because I have so much less time if I'm speeding the process up. So off to the layout. Okay, so let's get started with the layout. I cut the border off that cityscape paper, and now I'm going to take the red, and that cityscape or skyline paper there is the Chamel Sparkle City project pad from Joann Fabrics. And then the brick paper that I'm just using, or just used for the first layer, is from the Sparkle City project pad as well. Then I'm going to back it with that yellow paper, which is the Chamel Sparkle City Stargazing paper, which you can get at Joann's, but you can also buy that where Sparkle City is, anywhere else that Sparkle City is sold online or whatever. And I'm going to put these layers just a little bit askew. If you know my work, you know that I normally don't do that, but I'm using Chamel products, so she does that, so it just feels right to do it. The aqua paper there that I'm using is the Sparkle City Rainy Day paper, and then I'm backing it with that kind of like confetti sprinkle paper, and that's the Sparkle City Timed Party paper. I believe it's the one with the balloons on the back, which is really cute. I need to get somebody's birthday so that I can use that paper. This might be my last piece, but I know where to get more. So then I'm just kind of measuring, because I decided I wanted to use this 3x4 cut apart for some journaling. That is from the Sparkle City Dream Big cut apart paper. And then, as I said, I want to use this large word smile as my title. I don't want that blue to go all the way across, because I think it really would look like it's floating then. So I'm kind of eyeing it to see how far it would need to go. And I'll ink all of the layers here. The reason for inking layers is that it really helps give them a little bit of a shadow, and they pop off the background. So when you're combining layers, especially if your layers are light, they oftentimes blend together. So it's a nice way to do that. I won't have as much of the problem here because the colors are pretty distinctive between, and I'm using the background layer there, not the background layer, but the background matte layer, last matte layer there is a really dark layer, so it's not going to look like it's kind of falling off. The one thing, again, I think that is going to help keep this look like it's just sort of floating in the sky and looking really weird, although it is going to float in the sky, is that the navy of the matte layer, the big matte layer, also works with the navy of the roofs of all the houses. So I think since those colors are the same, your eye kind of reads them the same. Obviously it's not, but it does. It's kind of interesting how that happens. So now I am going to the die cuts, which are from the Chamel Sparkle City cardstock and lenticular shapes. So I'm not going to use anything lenticular in here, but they do have some really nice cardstock pieces. Because this is a cityscape, I wanted to get in some city buildings here. And then I saw Chamel do a layout with this paper, and she did put a car on the road down there. I think she put the VW Sorry about that, guys. I think she put the VW on that layer, but I decided it was too big and that what I wanted to do was put the, what am I thinking? I wanted to put the smaller bus. Sorry, guys. This is, sorry. I keep accidentally turning on something on my iPad. Anyway, so I decided to use the ice cream truck there. Now, also as part of this, I'm going to use a couple more buildings to get more of the skyline there. And then I also grabbed the camera from the die cuts from the cardstock and lenticular shapes. So now I'm looking at the sticker book to see what I could possibly add in. Oh, I did also, I almost forgot, I added a cloud in at the top there too. Make sure you look though at the end at the still shots, because I did add in another cloud and then another building to the left as well. It felt like there wasn't enough buildings on the left side, or there wasn't enough stuff on there, and I'll show you. It's an even number of things that didn't feel right. One of the things that's going on the left there is that I have 3 things, so I have 2 buildings in that camera. Now I know the camera is huge, but you know, this is just a representation, so I'm taking a picture. Cameras go on everything because we're scrapbooking photographs here. And then I also am adding some foam tape behind this camera layer just so that it pops up a little bit there. All right, so I have that layer down. And I'm trying to decide if I'm going to pop the ice cream truck die cut up or not. I decided not to do that because I didn't want to call attention to it. I think it would have pulled your focus off of the main thing that I want you to see, which is the photograph. Because, and the other thing too is I would have had, it would have looked a little weird because I would have had the camera and then the ice cream truck both would have been popped up. And they're like almost exactly in line with each other. So I didn't kind of like the way that looked. So now what I am doing is I'm looking for some mini letter stickers here. So the title of this is "You Can Turn the World On With Your Smile." So that's a pretty long title. And this paper wouldn't lend itself to doing kind of normal size alphas for the rest of that title. So I'm looking for small ones. So I can use the navy, but I'm thinking that would be too much navy altogether because it would be the letter stickers, the confetti paper, and then the roof. So I want something else. I did think about pink, but for some reason that didn't feel right to me. So I'm pretty sure that I have some lavender colored L's Studio mini letter stickers, and that's what I find here. That is the Hazel Tile Alphabet stickers. So I think those might still be available. And what I'm going to do is, quickly as I can, I'm just going to kind of make them sort of work. I'm using, definitely in this case, you want to use some sort of either Thicker's guides, or in my case I'm using wax paper to try to figure out how those words can work together. Now I'm not going to get an exact placement here. That will come later, but it will give me an idea of how that's going to look. And honestly, this part was really time consuming. This layout took me about 51 minutes, which is probably about 15 or 20 minutes normally than a layout does. And part of it was getting these letter stickers all together here. So again, I'm just kind of looking to see how far over can I go with that. I don't want it to go too far over to the left side, or it's going to look like it's kind of falling off things. And I have the clouds to look at, you know, with that bottom row of words there. And I put the clouds there because there's clouds in the background of that paper. It's a die cut of the clouds are in the background, so that kind of brings the background in closer into the foreground, makes the layers kind of make sense and blend together. And then it's touching different layers of paper to help bring this together because I have lots of paper layers there. So guys, what I did is I spared you having to watch me kind of fool around with that. That took a while. So that extra 15 or 20 minutes, a lot of that was actually spent getting those tile letter stickers down. I admire Sarah Swan because she can just whip those babies down and they always look great. Not so much for me. All right. So now that that's done, I can really start with the rest of the embellishing and figuring out what I want to do here. So I have that little sticker that says Be Magical, but it would have blended in, so I found that Have Fun sticker, and that came from the Sparkle City sticker and washi book folder. So I'll add, even though it's a sticker, I'm going to add some foam tape behind it because I want that to sit up a bit. And then I'm going to add a couple of word stickers in here from that same sticker book. Playing around a little bit about which ones it would be. I end up with Be Magical, Travel, Live, and Cool because I am traveling here. So there's the, oh, and then I have the Explore in here too. I almost forgot about that. It's kind of playing with it. And there's the Live. I'm not liking the green and green, so I put the Explore on the top of that card, and then I'll come back with the Travel in here. And I like to use these little word stickers when the mood strikes me because I always have them left over. So now I'm going to go around and I'm going to sort of play around a little bit here and add in these stars, the glitter foam stars. I don't want to spoil anything too much, but, and I'd forgotten ink the cloud, so I'm adding that in. That was not actually glued down. But I actually take those stars off in the end. I'm going to get them all down, but after I shut the camera off, I take them off. I just decided they're too much. There's so much going on with this layout. There's so many colors that I thought the stars just took away from the focus on the photograph. Imagine that with all the color going on, that I thought a couple of stars did that, but I think it does because I think it pulls your eye away from the photo. I think if I had, I don't know, if just one of them had stayed on there, and we'll see what I think as I'm looking at it now. And yeah, I think it's too much. There's the still shot, guys. You can have your own opinion there. I've got the still shot and a couple of detail shots here. Hope you guys are all well. Don't forget to check out everybody else's collaboration videos. Those will be linked in the description box. Bye, everybody.